hands together. David, bring it up.
Alrighty, time to talk about AI. I'm David, I'm from Runnersroot. Is that noise only hearable by me? It's good, yeah? All right, perfect. So today we talk about AI. It's an exciting topic, it's super fascinating, and at the same time it's giga weird sometimes. And I can't do a presentation about AI without the help of AI, so what did I do? I generated all my slides with AI. Easy. So I am not totally sure about what the content is of all slides, because it's auto-generated, so I got a YOLO a couple of slides here and there. And I was, I was kind of scared to ask AI generating a presentation, a slide deck, that talks about AI in e-commerce. So instead of that, I just picked a super random topic, and this topic is... Cool. There you go. This topic is, how do we do the proper laundry? So the only thing I did for the next couple of slides, the only input I gave was this sentence. It is, create the presentation about doing the laundry. And that's it. Let's see where we go. So first of all, we have a wall of text, sorting the laundry is the title, and then we have a nice little image generated, most likely by DALL-E. Next, pre-treating stains. Makes sense to me. Even though I'm not the perfect expert in that topic, but it makes sense. Choosing the right detergent. Interesting slide here, because again, we have wall of text, wall of text, wall of text, and then an auto-generated image. This image is kind of special, because if you look from the very far away, it looks like there's text on it. It's not. AI is very, very bad in creating text on images. It's barely possible. And it will always end up in something like this gibberish. So then we continue to loading the washing machine. Makes sense as well. Drying clothes. Good. Hand washing clothes at some point. And it's always the same wall of text, right? So it's pretty awesome to be honest, what AI can do for us. With just a single sentence, I was able to create 8 slides about a topic I have no idea about. That's with images and all of it. Not saying the content is super perfect, but it's a good start, isn't it? So, in my opinion, AI enables all of us to create the content that we want, no matter what skills we have in a certain type of content, right? We can all write blog posts nowadays in fluent English in the style of Edgar Allan Poe if we want to. That's crazy. So I think AI is like the IDE for creating your content. Many, many people are also scared about AI. It's like, oh, AI is taking my job. Marketing people flood the whole internet with AI-generated nonsense text. And yeah, maybe. But then there are math guys out there, and they all survived the invention of the calculator. So I think you can never replace a human being, as I heard today, and that's very, very true. We are in a time right now, in a momentum where tons of AI tools are generated, maybe. So we have tools that use AI for sound, like Crisp. And Crisp, for example, filters all the background noises in your video calls out. So if you have a screaming baby right behind you, Crisp is the right fit for you. We also have stuff like Tweet Hunter, for example. You never have to go to Twitter again because it can just auto-generate tweets for you and post them for you. Is that a really clever idea? Maybe. Obviously, we have Co Pilot generating code for us. Pretty good helper, in my opinion. We have the whole OpenAI suite with ChatGPT. And then we have tools like Perspective.io, which helps you to filter out toxicity or potential toxicity out of your content that you create. So if you find yourself writing a blog post about Magento is now Adobe Commerce in the middle of the night, before you post it, run it through Perspective AI to figure out if it might be passive-aggressive. As I don't have too much time today, I just want to talk about two things. I want to talk about ChatGPT and how we can make sure we can create more consistent results out of it. And I want to talk about Midjourney, because I think Midjourney is the most exciting tool nowadays. Let's start with ChatGPT. If you ask ChatGPT the same question twice, you will get different results. You might get different results in the style. Obviously, you get different results in the content, but we can limit this. So we can, if we are in the perspective working for a client needing some copywriting, for example, needing some category teaser text for all of our 200 categories in different variations without duplicating content, we could ask ChatGPT to help us with this. And by that, I mean, we brief ChatGPT first, and then we give it the task. The briefing looks similar to what we have here. In this briefing, I say, I want you to act as an advertiser. You will create category teaser text to promote the category or a specific product. You will highlight priority keywords, develop key messages, point out benefits. Be informative, exciting, and convincing. That's our briefing for ChatGPT. With this briefing, can be used as a prefix if you want so. We can then give ChatGPT a couple of tasks. In this case, give us a category teaser text for the category baby and child, which has a lot of baby and child furniture in it. And then we get a proper result. And so we can scale the whole thing over all of our 200 million categories. Very nice. Better than nothing, I would say. Many, many people say using it for generating content feels like cheating. And it's absolutely true. It feels like cheating. But as a person who is not a native English speaker, it is super helpful because I'm no longer capped by language skills. I have an idea in my head, and now I'm able to compose content in various different forms and variants without being capped by any sort of language skill. As I said earlier, I could write content in the style of Edgar Allan Poe if I want to, or Stephen Hawking, right? It's just awesome. To get more consistent results, it is ridiculously awesome to pipeline your content, streamline it. Get more consistent results if you use a pipelining construct. For example, let's stick to the blog post thing, because this is an example everyone can relate to. We can compose a blog post in our head. ChatGPT helps us write it. We generate the content, and then we pipe it to a tool like Grammarly, for example, which helps us to match the tone and voice of our company. For example, our company wants us to use a certain vocabulary, name Magento all the time and not Adobe Commerce. And also we can pass it to the toxicity check all the time as well. Makes sense. Based on the blog post, we can just brief ChatGPT with our blog post and say, can you write me a Midjourney prompt so I can generate the proper blog post image with it? Very nice. And then we can put our blog post out there. Very nice. But no one reads this because it's our own website, 10 visitors a day. It's like, semi-nice. So what can we do? We can spread the word. We can create variation of the same type of content by just asking. We can create a Twitter thread out of our blog post, which then contains this exact same content, just in other words. Or we can do it with LinkedIn or very other types of things. So obviously, one of the earliest adoptions was to summarize the wall of text into bullet points. Then we have the opposite as well, which is formulate or make a text out of bullet points. And then if we want a wall of text, we can then decide what kind of wall of text do we want. Do we maybe want our bullet points written into a bug report or a client email, or even a user story? Very, very handy. And then we can have tons of different templates as a postmortem, a technical concept, a design briefing, stuff that we know have a certain format, but stuff that we are not used to write every day. So even if I don't say we should copy and paste all the time from ChatGPT, but see it as a kind of an inspiration of how you can structure things with your own content. That's basically what it is. And if you're lacking with ideas of what kind of content templates you want, just ask ChatGPT and say, extend the following list, and then you write down meeting notes, maintenance notification, and user manual, and we'll give you 10 other examples as well. Very handy. We can also tell ChatGPT to give us a certain output format, which can be ask for scorecards or tables, or even charts rendered in this ASCII thingy thing. Very handy. Super, super nice. I didn't know that earlier before I prepared this talk. It can generate SVGs. That's like, okay, lookish checkmark SVG over there. And obviously, we can generate code. To give you a little summary of how can we write consistent content is, we should always give an objective, right? What do we want to write about? And then a format, what do we expect the outcome? Is it the blog post? Is it the meeting notes or whatnot? We need to have a target audience specified. Is it for our clients? Is it for developers? Is it for, I don't know, for your kids, because you're writing a book or something? We need to have, or we can add a tone of voice. Do we want to be funny? Do we want to be informative? Do we want to be passive-aggressive? And then, as I said, if you want, you can add a certain style. Write this like Stephen Hawking, or as Stephen Hawking, whatnot. We can also add a list of things it should avoid. And now we come to the, in my opinion, most exciting part is Midjourney, because Midjourney can be fascinating and creepy at the same time. First of all, for those of you who don't know Midjourney, it's an API that you can work with through a Discord bot. So you log into Discord, go into a channel, you instantly, it's similar to Slack, you see what other people write and ask Midjourney to generate, and then you write your own prompt into it. Midjourney is highly under development, so there are new versions out there all the time. Not saying that the new version is better than the old version, it's just a different style of image generation, so the outcome just looks different. Not saying the one is better or worse, so if you want to use it, before you try adjusting your prompt, try to adjust the version of Midjourney that you're running. It's constantly changing, so some parameters might be outdated already, and some others are added. But that's just the thing of the time. Midjourney starts, like, if you want to use Midjourney, it always starts with /imagine. /imagine is the command to trigger Midjourney's image generation, followed by a prompt, a text prompt. In this case, we have a male tortoise with glasses, looking at the camera, wearing a hippie shirt, standing upright, photorealistic, lots of details. The second part of the prompt is the parameters. And we can have tons of here. I don't have the time to explain them all, so I just picked two very important ones. Version, as I said, the current version is version 5. Different versions, different styles, if you want so. And then we have the stylize parameter, which expects a number between 625 and a couple of millions, I think. It's very random to me. But you can think of it as a recipe versus an inspiration. The lower the number, the more it will take your text prompt as a recipe. The higher the number, it will take your text prompt as an inspiration. Our number is extremely low, And that's why 3 or 4 generated images look pretty much the same, just slightly different. The only one that's not the same is the top right. So how can we use this in e-commerce? Martini, the drink, they already did it. Early 2023, they generated their marketing campaign with Midjourney. Not saying that all of this text stuff and the logo was done by Midjourney. We had this font discussion earlier. But all the background stuff is generated with Midjourney. That's pretty nice. How can we use this in our e-commerce situations? For example, we have a customer who's selling outdoor furniture, outdoor rattan furnitures. And what they do is they have 16 different websites all over Europe, all over the world. When they do product photos, they shoot the rattan furniture in a German garden, which might be attractive for German people, but maybe not for Italian ones, or Spanish, or, I don't know, Finland people, Finnish people. So what they do is they ship this huge rattan furniture all over their places to have photos in a Spanish garden and in a Polish garden and whatnot. Instead of doing that, what we try is to use a prompt that we can adjust. Similar to ChatGPT, where we split up the briefing from the task, we do it in Midjourney very, very, very similar. We have a very specific prompt, and we change only certain words out of it. In this case, we changed Mediterranean scenery into cityscape scenery, or we changed it to fjord beach scenery, or we changed it to space scenery, right? So you get the idea. The only problem that we have with that is that we can right now only use them as mood pictures, because that's not the real rattan furniture they sell. It's just a mood picture, how it can look like if you have cool rattan furniture out in your garden. We also have combinations of all the AIs, right? So we saw it earlier. We can generate a whole slide deck with the combination of auto-generated image, and then this wall of text also auto-generated with just a single prompt. We can also have digital avatars. That's a video, maybe you can just play it. And this is where the creepy part starts, by the way. I could have mentioned that earlier with the sound, right? Yeah. Sorry.
Videos like this can help instruct your clients or customers, explain new features or processes, or be added as part of your product description.
Can you replay it?
The making of this video took about 20 minutes. Hi everyone, I'm an AI avatar. David made this short video to showcase some use cases of AI avatars. With basically no effort, it is possible to generate videos in many different languages and for specifically your audience. Try to listen closely to my voice. Can you guess my dialect? Videos like this can help instruct your clients or customers, explain new features or processes, or be added as part of your product description. The making of this video took about 20 minutes. The script was done by David. ChatGPT could have done it way faster. Thank you for having me today. David, your turn.
It's so creepy, this guy. Who knows what dialect it was? Because you can select over 160 languages and all the different dialects. Scottish, yeah, that was very Scottish. Yeah. That was the prompt operator. Thank you for having me.